All right, look, there's a lot of excuses we could make for C.J. Stroud. Offensive line, Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins, all of those things. The pick six, the pick six was just inexcusable. I mean, the tight end falls down on this play. Great. The play's dead. There's just no excuse for this. Some of the stats that have come out of this game are just absolutely horrifying. What I had claimed couldn't happen again. What happened last week was C.J. Stroud had one of the sloppiest games of his career, and he somehow came out and doubled down on it. I mean, he had 4 interceptions in this game, and he's honestly lucky he didn't have 8. Vrabel's probably pissed at his defense that they only came up with 4 interceptions in that game. The deflected balls, the balls that hit the receiver's hands, great. I mean, if you want to go by, hey, if it touches their hands, they got to catch it. Not when they're outstretched and they've got to try to catch it with their fingertips in those elements. It was horrendous. I mean, and if you C.J. Stroud's the first player with 5+ interceptions and 5+ fumbles in a single postseason. The guys who did it before him were Terry Bradshaw and Roger Staubach, which was, for one, in an era when 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio wasn't all that uncommon, and 2, those guys both went to a Super Bowl, so presumably did it in more than 2 games. That was about as bad a performance as I've ever seen in a moment where a quarterback's got to rise up, and he did the exact opposite. The defense was astoundingly good for most of the game. The only time the Patriots scored off of one of the Texans' multiple turnovers was when they scored that pick six. It was really bad. I'll show you one more. I saw this from Byron Baldinger. This was on one of his interceptions.
What is CJ doing? He's going to Hutchinson, but he's way late. And there's Davis for his second interception in the first half. I think he's got his feet down and possession. Yes. Patriot ball. 4th turnover. Like right here, it's a poorly thrown ball. He never gives his receiver a chance. And Davis comes down with the catch.
Yeah. And it's the errant throws. It's even attempting that pick six. I don't know what he's doing. And yes, he's got people in his lap at various times. Everything is not ideal, but he made it worse. And it's 2 weeks in a row that he made things worse. There are multiple stretches in that game where CJ could have just knelt on the ball for 3 downs and punted. Once they had a lead, let's fact check myself to be sure about this. What are you supposed to do? It's 10-7. You've got a lead. Like in that moment with the defense you have, it's 10-7. I don't get it. He ran once in the game for positive yardage. He's barely run at all since he sustained his concussion. I was just listening to the post-game show with Clint and Sean, and callers are calling in and saying they think he's scared. And I don't know what you're supposed to say to argue against it. That is a shell of the quarterback that he's shown the capability of being, the promise of being, all of those things. At the end of the game, I know that Troy was talking about the whole situation. I added some still frames in here because otherwise they'll shut the live.
But I will say this, Joe.
Otherwise they'll shut the live stream down. So sorry for the poor definition.
But I will say this, Joe. D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caserio, they've got some tough decisions they've got to make about this team on the offensive side of the ball. You know, they replaced Bobby Slowick last year after his 2 years as the offensive coordinator. C.J. Stroud has been chasing his rookie success for the last 2 years. He's not been the same player. We've not seen the development from him. There's a reason for that, and it has to be addressed.
Here's Bryant. Passes too high and off his hands. It's 4th down. Yeah, you bring up a great point. I mean, his rookie year was as good a rookie year as you can have in the NFL in 2023. But the last 2 years have been okay, not great. And here tonight, now if his hands hurt, that's one thing. But he missed some open throws here tonight, turned the ball over a lot again, which is what he did in Pittsburgh. This was not a good performance.
Well,
so 2 things there. One, Troy mentioned that maybe, hey, he's had his middle finger taped up for a while now. Maybe his hand is hurting. then Davis Mills should be in. I mean, that's a DeMeco Ryans thing. That's a CJ Stroud thing. He cannot make throws tonight. I mean, he made some great throws, but he ends up in a night where, honestly, I don't even want to get started on the whole Drake May thing, but like Drake May, for a long stretch in this game, Drake May was playing slightly better than C.J. Stroud. C.J. had a couple scoring drives. Drake May had a nice touchdown drive. Then he had a short field drive. But I'd say through 3 quarters, Drake May wasn't even that much better than C.J. Stroud. That's how good the defensive performance was. The Patriots were 3 for 14 on 3rd down. And credit to them, credit to Drake May, and credit to their offense. And they did what they had to do, obviously, and had some really good. Booty, what a hell of a catch by Booty. My God, what an incredible, great throw, great catch. Doing things that C.J. Stroud did not do on the field tonight. But, he threw a freaking hospital ball in which Cade Stover didn't even have to, there was no contact. How the hell do you throw a no-contact hospital ball? What the hell? He's injuring receivers without them even getting hit by defenders, leading him into danger with errant footballs. Oh my gosh. So if he's got an injured hand, then by all means, what the hell is he even doing out there? It's clear. DeMeco's talking about trusting and having faith in guys and everything. Well, if it's his hand, I don't even want to hear about it. And we'll talk about DeMeco's decision in the 4th quarter to punt. In a bit, maybe. I got to do a thing with KHOU in a little bit. But a contract, God, no. No. There's no way in hell. If David Mulligetta comes trying to flex for a contract or something, I would be surprised if CJ's going to be expecting or demanding a contract. What do you want to be in Tungavailoaville? I don't want to live in Tungavailoaville. It's a miserable place to be in Tungavailoaville. Trevor Lawrenceville is all right for now. We'll see how next year goes. So those are the 2 big things with the quarterback. The pick 6 was just inexcusable, undefendable. I don't care if he had 4 backups in there. I'll say the construction of the offensive line, though, it's awesome. You got some scrappy blue collar guys out there. Jake Andrews cast off from New England. What could they do with him? We'll do something with him. And, Trent Brown at right tackle, 33, 34-year-old, 350-pounder coming off of a torn patellar tendon. So you got these scrappy blue-collar guys on your offensive line. You know what happens when you don't go out and you don't sign free agents in free agency, or at least you sign one and then you trade them away after a few games? You end up with guys who are cool. They're okay. They're getting the job done. Who are the backups to the scrappy blue-collar guys, the journeymen, when your scrappy blue-collar guys get injured? They're guys who aren't even scrappy blue-collar journeymen. That's who they are. And that's where, as an organization, Nick Kelly is an offensive coordinator. I thought he did some good things in the playoffs. I thought early in this game he schemed some guys wide open. There were guys who were wide open throughout the evening. There were guys who had opportunities throughout the evening. And they didn't do anything with him. I mean, there's just no way around leveling your sights on what the hell is going on with C.J. Stroud. Why is he not running anymore? Since the concussion, he'd had 20 yards or so headed into this game since his concussion running. I wanted him to run early, and he threw that great throw to Dalton Schultz, and he gets downfield. I don't know. Getting to the coaching, the time management. It's cool. Do you know how angry I get when I hear commentators comment on the fact that the Texans don't have 3 timeouts with many, many minutes left in the game, and they point to it like it's something different or a novelty or anything? Yeah, that's what we do. We burn timeouts, we take a timeout, and we come back and we're still hurrying to get going. 4th quarter, it's inside of 5 minutes. You're down by 2 scores. You punt. I don't know. I don't know. Well, why? Just you're hoping for a turnover or something? Cool. Those guys, I don't know if you noticed, but Ramondre Stevenson was covering the piss out of the ball in the 4th quarter there. Oh, You know what? Let's watch a Tommy Togiai palate cleanser. Like this is the effort that was wasted tonight. Togiai, I forgive him for his illegal motion, but just look at this. This guy's the 300-plus pounder with the hand-eye coordination of a major league pitcher. Wasted. Will Anderson strip sack. Watch this. I was so proud of myself because I pointed Will out right before this play to my wife. I said, Brandy, watch Will on this. And look at what he did. I said, Will Campbell, your first-round pick, destroyed all night long by Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. What did it do for you? Nothing. Like abso-freaking-lutely nothing. In a game where you didn't, do you not understand how great a game this could have been? You didn't have Nico Collins. You ended up not having Dalton Schultz. And but for all these turnovers, you should have won that game. Like it was, you just had them completely on the ropes. Unbelievable. I don't know if anybody else asked about CJ Stroud getting paid. He's not getting paid. So now the Patriots get to go off and face Jarrett Stidham, who probably Jarrett Stidham, would he have played better tonight? I don't know. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, so I'll probably listen, and I'll do a video with the press conferences after this. I don't know if I'm in the mood to hear any more life lessons in philosophy from a 24-year-old right this moment. I don't need to hear about the way you need to approach life and everything. My God.